Let's jump right into this explainer. We're exploring the fascinating, kind of hidden current that runs beneath our everyday lives. We're going to uncover why true financial success actually isn't about being a math genius. It's really all about mastering your behavior. Think about this. In 2014, two completely different men made headlines. On one hand, you had Richard Fusconi. He was a Harvard-educated Merrill Lynch executive. We're talking an MBA, a massive mansion with 11 bathrooms, a career most people literally only dream about. But by 2014, he was completely bankrupt. On the other hand, you had Ronald Read. He fixed cars at a gas station for 25 years and swept floors at JCPenney for 17 years, lived in a humble $12,000 house. Yet, when he died, he left an astonishing $8 million to charity. So how does a humble janitor massively outperform an elite Wall Street executive? Well, finance is quite literally the only industry in the world where an amateur with no formal training can completely beat a seasoned pro. The crucial point here is that finance is not a hard science like physics. It's not bound by these absolute unbreakable laws. Instead, it's a soft skill. It's completely defined by psychology, ego, and quiet patience. You couldn't imagine a janitor outperforming a Harvard-trained heart surgeon, right? No way. But in investing, your behavior matters so much more than your raw intelligence. So today, we're peeling back the layers of Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money to reveal these invisible drivers of wealth. And the best part? Absolutely anyone, anywhere, can harness them simply by shifting their mindset. Section 1. No one's crazy, the 0.0000001% problem. We judge other people's financial decisions all the time, right? But the truth is, the tiny sliver of the world you've personally experienced shapes almost all of your financial worldview. Look at this breakdown. If you were born in 1970, the stock market grew tenfold during your teens and 20s. You probably look at the market as this amazing wealth-generating machine. But if you were born in 1950, the market went absolutely nowhere during those exact same formative years. You might view it as a wealth incinerator. Your seemingly illogical decisions, whether that's burying your money in bonds or aggressively buying stocks, they actually make perfect sense based on the unique economic era you just happened to be born into. Moving on to Section 2. Luck and risk, the invisible siblings. Every single outcome in life is guided by forces other than just individual effort alone. Take Bill Gates. He is undoubtedly brilliant and incredibly hardworking. But he also had 1 in a million luck. Back in 1968, out of roughly 303 million high school-age kids in the world, he attended Lakeside School in Seattle. That was virtually the only high school on the entire planet that had a computer. But listen to this. Gates had a brilliant friend named Kent Evans. They shared the exact same brains and ambition, but Kent faced 1 in a million risk and tragically passed away in a mountaineering accident before graduation. Same underlying force, just completely different sides of the coin. When you recognize this immense hidden power of luck and risk, it changes your perspective entirely. It forces you to find humility when things go right for you, and, maybe more importantly, it teaches you to find forgiveness and compassion when things go wrong for others. Section 3. Confounding compounding, the Ice Age lesson. You know, compounding works exactly like an ice age. It's not caused by brutally freezing winters, it's actually caused by slightly cooler summers, where just a thin layer of snow never melts, and it builds up slowly over thousands of years. Now let this massive number sit in silence for a second. $81.5 billion. Out of Warren Buffett's roughly $84.5 billion net worth, that staggering amount came after his 65th birthday. Buffett's true secret isn't just his stock picks. It's that he has been a good investor for nearly 80 uninterrupted years. If he had started investing at age 30 and retired at 60, his net worth would be a hypothetical $11.9 million. That is 99.9% less than what he actually has. It just shows how simple habits and immense patience are what actually create lasting wealth for ordinary people. The absolute first rule of compounding is to never, ever interrupt it unnecessarily. Section 4. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. The skills you need to make money are entirely different from the skills required to keep it. Getting wealthy, that demands risk, extreme optimism, and aggressively putting yourself out there. But staying wealthy, that requires humility, frugality, and honestly, a healthy dose of paranoia. Take the legendary 1920s trader Jesse Livermore. He made an absolute fortune during the 1929 crash by taking massive risks, becoming one of the richest men in the world. But he lost it all just 4 years later because he totally lacked the paranoia and humility required to keep what he'd made. So the crucial point here is that true investing genius isn't about perfectly timing the market, not at all. It is simply having a survival mindset. It's about making yourself financially unbreakable and just doing the average thing when everyone else around you is going completely crazy. Section 5. Reasonable is greater than rational. You are not a spreadsheet, so please don't manage your money like one. Think about Julius Wagner Jauregg, a 19th century psychiatrist who logically but very dangerously tried to cure syphilis by infecting patients with malaria to induce a massive fever. It was technically rational but wildly unreasonable. In finance, aiming for the coldly rational, mathematically optimal strategy often completely fails because it ignores basic human emotion. You have to find a strategy that maximizes how well you sleep at night. Aim to be mostly reasonable, not perfectly rational. Section 6. Wealth is what you don't see. The biggest illusion of modern finance is that wealth equals the flashy cars, the luxury watches, or the massive houses you see all over social media. But true wealth is actually the financial assets that haven't been spent yet. It is invisible. And the formula for that invisible wealth is so simple. Savings equals income minus ego. Past a certain level of basic comfort, almost everything you spend is mostly just a reflection of ego. It's a way to show other people that you have money, which means raising your humility is literally the fastest and most effective way to raise your savings rate. Living below your means is the true path to freedom.
And the beautiful thing is, you don't even need a specific reason to save. You don't need to be saving for a house or a fancy new car. You must save simply as a hedge against life's inevitable, completely unpredictable curveballs. It's the only factor you can fully control.
Section 7. The ultimate payoff, freedom. So, what's the point of all this? Living below your means gives you the ultimate hidden return on your cash. The highest dividend money pays isn't an interest rate, it's flexibility. It's having the option to take a few days off when you're sick without spiraling into stress. It's the ability to wait for a great job offer after a layoff instead of taking the very first one out of sheer desperation. It is the unquantifiable ability to take back control of your own time. True independence, doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, that is what will bring you far more lasting happiness than any luxury good ever could. So as you navigate your own visible, day-to-day choices, I want you to ask yourself, what is the invisible wealth you're truly trying to build? Are you playing a game to impress people you barely even know? Or are you building the patience and behavior required to finally buy back your own time? Think about that for a while, and we'll see you in the next explainer.